all day.
What's going on? Welcome to the ShipFlip channel. It is Wednesday, November 6th. Eagles coming off back-to-back wins. And Notre Dame got that revenge, redemption, whatever you want to call it. Enough rambling about football. Just want to let you know that we're in a good mood. So, yeah, I haven't posted a video like in 6 days, and so I try to get one at least up here every week, if not 2 or 3. But I didn't want to think that I died or something. So here I am. And I wanted to give you just a quick strategy video, something I thought about when I was talking to my buddy Dan. And this is a good strategy for you new resellers or even old resellers that never thought about this. And it's regional sports team strategy, right? And I first got into this strategy. Well, actually, this was probably one of the first things I did in reselling. Before I was full-time, before I did it all the time, this was the first thing I really did. And it goes like this. So you have to really understand like which sports teams have national fan bases and which ones just have regional fan bases. And so let me give you an example here. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, the Carolina Panthers for the most part, very regional, right? Those aren't national products. You don't see a slew of Tennessee Titans fans in New York City per se, or anything like that. Now, obviously, like the closest team or the team that's from that town or area is going to be the most prominent. But there are teams that have a national product, and I'm just speaking NFL here, but you can go any sport with this and do the same thing. But NFL, what teams have a national product? Well, like it, love it, or leave it, the Cowboys are America's team. They are a national product. And by the way, what America's team means, this might be knowledge for you right here. What America's team means, it just means that you sold the most merchandise in the previous 365 days. So that right there tells you that that's a national product. So if by calling them America's team, and the definition of America's team is you sold the most merchandise over the past calendar year, and it's been the Dallas Cowboys for several years, and back in the early 90s, actually the Green Bay Packers, mid 90s maybe, the Green Bay Packers were America's team a couple times. They stole the crown just a couple times from the Dallas Cowboys. But for the most part, the Dallas Cowboys have always had that role. But what does that tell you? They sell the most merchandise. And what are we selling? Merchandise, right? And so for that to happen, it means that there has to be Cowboys fans in Northern California that want Cowboys gear, but they can't get it as readily as somebody in Dallas, Texas. So now that brings me to the point of regional sport team strategy when it comes to reselling. And one of the times that I was most successful with this, being from Pennsylvania, was right after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? So how does this work? You go into any of your retail ARB spots, Burlington Coat Factory, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, any of the spots that you regionally go, and you go to the sports gear section, t-shirts, jerseys, whatever. The majority of what is going to be in your TJ Maxx, in your Marshalls, in your Burlington is going to be what regional sports gear didn't sell. So in my Burlington, it's loaded with Pittsburgh Steelers and Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if I go to the ones down south, like Hanover and York, they're filled with Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers and a little bit of Philadelphia Eagles, right? And some Washington Redskins the further down I go, right? To the bottom part of the state of Pennsylvania towards Washington, D.C., right? I start to see more and more Northern Maryland. I do a lot of Marshalls down there, and I start to see Redskins and Ravens in those stores. No Philadelphia Eagles or Steelers, right? So right then and there, like it dawns on me early, like 10 years ago, this dawned on me, but now I'm telling you that you can, like, there's obviously Ravens fans that live in Texas. There are Ravens fans that live in California. There are Eagles fans that live in Seattle, Washington. I know one. His name's Chris. There are fans from all over the country, and they can't get these products. Like if my buddy Chris goes into his local TJ Maxx to buy an Eagles shirt, he's going to find Seattle Seahawks gear, which is fine because I think they're kind of fans there too. But they're not going to find Eagles gear in their TJ Maxx. So like if he wants to buy an Eagles shirt because the Eagles are coming to town to play the Seahawks, and he wants to just have an Eagles shirt to wear to that game, he has to go to the Eagles team store and he has to pay full price for the Eagles shirt, right? Or you could go on Amazon or something and get it, but he's going to find at the Eagles team store for that Nike Dry Fit Eagles shirt, he's going to pay $40 for it to get shipped to his house. They probably give him free shipping. Or like I could find one regionally in my local TJ Maxx for $9.99. I list that item for $30, right? $29.99. And now an Eagles fan in Seattle, Washington, he can go on to the ShipFlip store on eBay or Amazon or wherever. He can now find an Eagles shirt, brand new still, to wear to his game when they play the Seahawks or whatever. And he's only paying $30 instead of $40. Or maybe it's, sometimes I get them for $12.99. I found Carson Wentz t-shirts, Carson Wentz Nike tees for $12.99. You can look at one of my previous videos to see that. I've since sold all of those at a rate of about $25 to $30. So those were originally $45 Nike shirts. If he wanted to wear the Carson Wentz t-shirt jersey to the Seattle Seahawks game, he would have had to pay Eagles.com $45 for one. Or he could have gone on ShipFlip eBay and bought one for $25 and gotten the same exact shirt and paid half as much. I still profit. He still gets the shirt he wants and pays half of what he had to pay originally. Everybody wins, right? This is the regional sports team strategy. And so you can kind of follow trends and figure out which teams are hot and have a national following. Sometimes this works with Canadian teams as well. And then whenever you're in a different area, hit that TJ Maxx and find the sporting goods in that area, in that store, and hopefully they're teams that have a national presence. Now, if you're in the Jacksonville area and you go in and there's nothing but Jaguar gear in there, I'm sorry, this strategy doesn't work for you. But in other areas, it definitely would. And this is very true in college, and you have to follow trends in college more with this. And so if you look on my TikTok, I sold that pair of UCF gloves, and UCF is obviously very trendy and very hot right now, especially with the youth and especially with up-and-comers. So again, just knowing what teams are hot, what teams are very fire right now, you can kind of do it that way as well. So it's like figure out which teams have the national following, buy their products up at cheap, like when you're in those areas. For like another example is I'm going to South Bend here soon to watch a Notre Dame game. They're going to be playing Boston College on the 23rd here, so in about 20 days I'll be down there. Actually, about 16 days now, or 15. I can't even do the math right now. My brain's fried. But what is today? The 7th? Today's the 7th. No, it's 27 days, right? No, 17 days. We got it. That's the number. We're sticking with that. All right, 17 days I'll be there. And here, I actually thought of this. My mother wanted one of those bags that you take into games, like the clear stadium bags. And I went to order one, and I noticed that they were available at Walmart.com. And I was like, well, that's weird. Why would this bag be on Walmart.com? And as I looked further, it didn't have shipping available. And so then I was like, oh, well, why wouldn't it have shipping available? It said local pickup only, in-store pickup only, South Bend, Indiana. Well, guess where I'm about to be? Oh, and here's the kicker. They were only $8 on Walmart.com. Other option was Amazon for $24.95. So you could do $8 on Walmart.com and pick them up in South Bend. Well, guess where I'm about to be? South Bend. So I'm not going to just buy one of them. I'm buying 10 of them, right? 10 of them, and I'm going to list them for $23.95. And now I've got the absolute cheapest Notre Dame Stadium bag on the entire internet for $23.95, and I only paid $8. And it's because I bought it in-store pickup in South Bend out of the Walmart. If anybody's in South Bend now watching this, do not buy all of them. I'm going to pre-order them, so don't order them all. But yeah, I ordered like, what else did I order one time? There was something I ordered, purses. Yeah, there was Eagles purse. They had Dooney and Burke Eagles purses, and I knew they were hot. So instead of just buying one for somebody, I bought like 10 of them. And then that in turn made the one that I bought for somebody free because I got all the profit. It ended up selling that item. But it just lets you know like how you can scoop up quantities of a sports team's gear and sell it to people that want it in different parts of the country, and they're willing to pay more for it. And actually, they're still getting a deal because they're still getting it for cheaper than they have it available to them. So hopefully this gave you the idea and some type of strategy that you can use, and maybe one more product that you could look for in the store. But for the most part, you should be looking at teams with national fan bases. The Philadelphia Eagles are definitely one of them. And then teams that are hyped at the time, right? And teams that have just won or something like that. And find their gear in the stores locally. Hopefully a team close to you is one of those teams. You don't have to travel too far to do that. But when you're on business trips or in other areas, maybe you have a full-time job and you go to other places, think about that when you're on the road. Like if you're in, if you're in Dallas, Texas for the weekend, go to the TJ Maxx real quick, see if they got any Dallas Cowboys Nike tees for $9.99 at their TJ Maxx, and see if people, I know they are, see if people are paying $24 to $40 for them on eBay and Amazon. And you'll find that they are, and then you'll be like, wow, I can just actually go to different areas and different sporting teams and buy their areas or buy their items and sell them across the country, right? And this is actually not even just regional to country. Like people across the world want Eagles gear, they want Cowboys gear, they want Notre Dame is one of the better teams to really look for. They have probably the biggest national following in college football, and then teams like Ohio State, Alabama are big. You always sell their gear. Comment below, tell me some teams that you know have a great following and are great to sell the products of. Otherwise, I hope you found this video useful, and hopefully it gave you another strategy and another thing to look at, and kept me on the radar for you. But just something I wanted to put the bug in your ear and a little bit of strategy on your map for regional sports team strategy. Go ahead and, if you liked this comment, please subscribe, tell a friend, tell a neighbor, and start selling stuff and start taking control of your life and start beating your boss is what I like to call it, and taking one step closer to freeing yourself from that 9-to-5 lifestyle if that's what you want to do, or to just saving up the cash you want to be able to do the things you want to be able to do. Maybe you want to be able to go do cool stuff with your kids. I don't know. Everyone's in a different scenario, but this can be useful to anyone. I'm always available for chat. Riley Eagles is my Twitter. Sean Riley _ ShipFlip is my TikTok, and I'm always answering questions, and I'm very cool about it. So definitely hit me up on there and chit chat with me. Love to chat and talk business with you. So in the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up, kind of rambling on, but definitely consider the regional sports strategy the next time you're out and about. Take care and keep flipping. 2